everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing this Simic Terror, Simic Crab Spellslinger deck that's more of a tempo deck in Simic, and I think it's probably arguably one of the best Simic decks that you can be playing. And it also has a really good budget to it, as there's very few kind of rares that you have to play outside of the lands in the deck, being like the 4 Stormchaser talents, 2 Kioras, and 1 Analyze Pollen are the only rares or mythics that are actually in kind of the main board outside of lands. As we can see over here, there's 10 rares in that spot as well. So other than that, we're going to talk about this list, kind of go over what we're trying to do quickly, and it all revolves around kind of 3 creatures, being Kiora, Tolarian Terror, and the Crab, mainly the Terror and the Crab. But Kiora says whenever it enters the battlefield, we draw 2 cards, and then we discard 2 cards. As Threshold, kind of an older mechanic. Whenever Kiora attacks, if there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, we may create an 8/8 legendary octopus creature token that is legendary, so do be careful of accidentally making an extra copy. I mean, you'll just sack the extra one that you made, but you could mess up and accidentally sack the one that's attacking, so that's something you need to look out for a little bit. It does give you the option of making one, you don't have to. But Tolarian Terror and both Crab get reduced by 1 generic mana for every instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. So realistically, Tolarian Terror is a 1 mana 5/5 with Ward 2, and Crab is a 2 mana flash 5/5 that whenever it enters the battlefield, we can tap up to 2 target creatures, which is a very good combat trick. So we can tap down creatures in our way and hit them for 5, as just each one of these is a 4-turn clock that can happen very quickly. You have 2 in play, it's a 2-turn clock, and you can end the game super fast. Outside of that, we are all interaction / all mill / all find land / look for cards that we need. And that is pretty much all it is. So we have Ops reprinted in Foundations. I have this art because I like it a lot. It just says scry 1, draw a card. We have Unsummon in here over into the Flood Maul, which I do enjoy quite a bit, because that does allow us to bounce our own creatures back to our hand, where Into the Flood Maul does not. So if we have a Tolarian Terror in play that our opponent's going to try to Sunfall, we can unsummon it and put it back in our hand, so we can then recast it again. So we do play a limited amount of threats, so we do kind of have to protect them every now and then. And then we play Bushwhack to get lands. We're playing 4 of these over 4 lands because, again, we want more spells in our graveyard, along with an Analyze Pollen. But Analyze Pollen oftentimes will be used for its Evidence 8 mode to go find a creature if we need it. Seed of Hope to help mill, Cash to help mill and find permanents. Up the Beanstalk is kind of the best synergy card in this deck because it is 2 mana draw a card, or it's 2 mana in play, and then when we cast that Tolarian Terror for 1 or the Crab for 2, it does draw a card because its full mana CMC cost goes onto the stack. So Tolarian Terror says, I had to like hack and cough, so there should be a cut here, but Tolarian Terror says, like, when we cast it for 1 mana, it actually goes on the stack for 7. Therefore, Up the Beanstalk will still draw a card off them being cast. And that goes as well for This Town Ain't Big Enough. This is 5 mana, but realistically, it'll always be 2 mana. And this spell costs 3 less to cast if it targets a permanent we control, which goes very well with the Beanstalk. So we can target Beanstalk in a permanent they control, draw a card out the Beanstalk, replay the Beanstalk, draw an additional card, and things like that. So we're constantly having cards in our hand. And that also goes well with our last card, being Stormchaser's talent. Whenever it enters, we make a 1/1 otter, which works really well with everything, giving it prowess outside our few creatures here. Or triggering prowess, and then we can level it up to grab a card from our graveyard if need be. Most likely you'll never activate mode 3. I don't want to say never, because you never know with some of the control matchups and things like that. Activating mode 3 might be exactly what you need to win the game, but This Town Ain't Big Enough is going to be really good at playing this, using it as a bounce fodder, and then making another otter. Otter, you know, we're rhyming out here in these parts. With that said, we're going to go ahead and go into the games. If y'all enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. Hopefully I didn't hack in your ear and make sure I cut it in post. This is a reminder from me. But let's go game. We go first with the low land count. I'm actually pretty happy with how this turned out in this one. So I think I keep here. I could hold up a sorcery, but I think I'd much rather just make sure I get my lands now. My hand's all blue, so I guess I take an island. Plus, I have a basic forest in hand, so I should just take island, right? Swamp. Pass. And then we play a talent, I guess. If you want to cut down my 1/1, feel free. I won't stop you. Alright, so we got mono black control. against me. Non-mono black control. I'll land here. Sure. Seed of Hope. All this stuff's an instant speed spell. And I don't want to over cash here. I would much rather like hold a lot of my spells and kind of prioritize going in whenever I have like multiple of these right now. And right now, these are my win condition. If they're going to be mono black and do nothing to interact with my board, then so be it. You know what I mean? You may put a permanent card from among the mill cards in your hand. If you control a squirrel, that's not relevant. Wars off control. Temporary lockdown, my worst nightmare. They don't have that. Phyrexian Arena. Sure. I have a crab. Don't look now, Chad. I have crabs. What a stupid line. Yes, this is like one of the parts where like Mill put a permanent card in the hand, I guess. And then we look to flash this in on their end step, and we just hit them for like 6 here, right? I mean, they could hit me with like a damnation, or not damnation. Like the 4-minute. I guess I just play a Tolarian Terror, right? That seems good. Just hold my op. Just play this Terror, call it a day. Hit him for 4 here. This is nowhere even close to activate. They also played that last turn. They didn't activate it. It doesn't cost anything to scry. Like, you can just scry. You don't have to, like, go for cards every time. Learned. They learned, team. They learned. I resolved, brother. But yeah, I mean, just flashing this in is just lethal, right? Because I'm assuming something's dying, of course. Like, at minimum, these are gone, I would think. Or something, you know? But I have 10 damage in just these, and if these don't get removed, it is lethal when I cast Opt. And it's pretty close if I find another spell. It's also lethal, because I can activate these. But who knows? Town ain't big enough for the two of us, brother. What this set was based on, right? They know about the crab, so they probably have to wait. Flashing the crab. Obviously, kind of holding up the removal here, I would assume. I'm at 0. Sure. Surveil before combat, just to get an extra look with my op. It's not another spell, but it's also like a really good spell to play post combat if I get Sunfall or something. Actually, I'm betting. I'm betting here. Most of my spells are instant speed, so we go to combat. In. This one. And do remember, even though like they might remove the crab here, if this does hit another spell, like I get 11 damage in, they're almost going to die to their Phyrexian Arena. That is something they have to worry about. All right, there's a Union. They could have scryed first again to see if they maybe found a card of importance, but up to 19. That's a lot. All right, we can stop with the lands now. All right, this is a permanent card, but it's a lot of damage, so we take it. I guess take a untap source. Down to 3, down to 2. Because of this Phyrexian Arena. Now, even if it's like a board wipe, it gets like weirdly close. Yeah? Hello? The plan, by the way, if you're like afraid of attacking into this, you're like, well, maybe they have a combo. We just upgrade. We grab this town ain't big enough. We play the other land because we hit a lot of them. We bounce this and this, and then we just hit them for lethal. So, get it covered. If there was 2, we can crap them. First, Beanstalk, a couple of looks, think like there's a lot going on. Sure. Botanical Sanctum, pass. Seed of Hope, might miss everything. I'll take an Up the Beanstalk in this matchup, that's for sure. Leave on okay, I'll take multiple Up the Beanstalks, I suppose. I love drawing cards. Do you guys love drawing cards? My favorite. Is this Haughty Gym pile or not? That's the only thing. Okay, it's Haughty Gym pile. Sure. We have Unsummon. We can tell them to pick it back up. And we have crabs that can't be hit with negate, which is nice. Because sometimes they play that. And I play win conditions or removal spells that when they get negated, I cry. I just double beans. I think I double bean. I'm drawing a lot of cards, maybe. I have a land right now, so I don't really want to analyze Pollen. I'd much rather save this until I have to kind of like do evidence 8. There's so many different random keywords that I kind of forget what they all do. Look, they have the same unsummon as me. Alright, another founding. Pretty gross. Hey, there's the eyeball. There's a helping hand. You got a white source? Bring it back. Yep. That's yours. You can have it. I promise. I won't be upset. Okay. I guess I pass. I know I can play this Beanstalk, but I'd much rather, like, cast the crab. So now they can mill. Ooh, they stacked the wrong order. Wrong order stacked. So what they needed to do is hit the mill first. Because they could have... Alright, this just targets regardless. I think they have to pick. But they could have picked a reanimate spell, and if the mill 4 would have hit first, then they'd be good, right? I think you can do it that way. I believe so. Yeah, because like you haven't cast the spell yet. Maybe I'm faded. I don't know. Unless for each instant sorcery card in your graveyard, it's at minimum 1. And what's the odds that I miss? I can't imagine it's high. I'm just have to play the crab game, I guess. I don't think I miss. Okay. Thankfully, I didn't miss. That would have been very embarrassing. We'll take the cards that they know I'm going to flash in. And I'll draw 2. I drew 2 lands. Submit 0. I ain't really looking to do much else here. So obviously Surveillant could be good. Am I wanting to analyze Pollen? Probably not. I have like everything in my plan kind of ready to go, right? Well, if that's the case, then I should... Honestly, I think I'm just looking to cast both these crabs, so I should do this, right? I don't need that land, I don't think. We do big hit. We do big bonk. And we in turn. Phantom Interference is in there, of course. Now they can look to cast and bring this back. The thing is, though, like, I can flash both these in, and I can just win off that, right? Like, I could tap the eyeball if I wanted to. But I'm going to go for this town ain't big enough, and I'm going to try to win that way, I think. Yeah? I guess I can't cast both crabs. That's why I needed to play this. Yeah, so I have to go for this town ain't big enough, regardless. And then we have 2 mana to pay for the counter spell regardless. Unless they have 2, of course. They might cast the other eye. That'd be disgusting. I'd be so pumped for that. Cast the other eyeball. Not gonna really give him a chance here. Gonna hold up for the counter spell, of course. Like, I'll get one less card draw here, which sucks, but I feel like this is the only way to do it. Grab me. And then this could probably just go grab a Tolarian Terror, I guess. Like, that seems good enough, right? This Tolarian Terror is 1 mana. Oh, I drew another crab. Analyze Pollen. That's not enough. I feel like it should be. We'll grab this. We'll do Tolarian Terror. We'll do a draw. I'm going to hit max hand size anyway, so it feels like I shouldn't do much. I should just hold 2 crabs here. You like to block? No? Well, now the crab playing gets to be, like, better, right? Oh, I should have got rid of Botanical. Because now I can flash the crab in on instep, tap the creatures I need to tap, and then go from there. Also, this is a great example of what I'm talking about whenever I play against this deck, and they, like, play a Surveil land, and they just flip a Haughty Djinn into their graveyard and reanimate it on turn 2. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm talking about. It doesn't happen every time, but sometimes it just feels like it does. But what I'm talking about is here. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. That's fine. Here, like, they can try to counter, do whatever. I can go for the bounce or the tap down here, and then they'll make a 2/2, and then I get to go for it again. I can even bushwhack it now. Yeah, so we tap those, they make a 2/2. Wow, it's tough. But regardless, we win. We're moving on. I don't want to talk about this match anymore. Opponent goes first. Gross. No, I mean, I guess I have a bounce spell, right? I said no bounce spell, but I have a 5 mana one that works really well. Please don't be Haughty Djinn pile again. I can't handle that twice in a row. Probably just blue white control. They have Narset sleeves and Jace. They're like, I am the gamer. Here's my 1/1. We're in. I don't have to budge. The main thing main way to beat this deck is by card advantage. And Up the Beanstalks are going to be the way to do that. Sure. Slide a hand. Interesting. Are you a Haughty Djinn? Are you trying to convince me you're control, but you're actually the Haughty Djinn combo? I'll take the crab. I got the crab, man. He's a dangerous boy. Let's cast a Seed of Hope now. But I would rather get a little bit more prowess in, if I can. Hey. Crab costs 2 less for each? Yeah. I feel like it's just... Am I stupid? No, it was 5 when I was looking at it. Okay, never mind. And then it milled over. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. We're fine. Everything's fine. Everybody relax. Calm down. Calm down. Okay? We're freaking out. We don't need to do that. No quick study. No nothing. No mill. No nothing. All right. This has got to be control, bro. Fire this off. Please cast the Magic the Gathering spell. There you go. I knew you could do it. Cast this one. I knew you could do it. Ooh. Sure. You see how Up the Beanstalk would be so good here? Because they'll have such a hard time beating it overall. I wasn't ready for that, actually. I was not ready for it to be synthesizer. Maybe that's why it's been so weird. Top, bottom, sure. Resetting that if I can. If they go for a counter, I have this town ain't big enough. Kind of the whole point here. Okay. Pick that up. Here? Sure. I'm gonna just start going for the card advantage game. Because if they make one construct, I can bounce it. It's not that big of a deal. Or I could tap it for a couple of turns. Yeah, so that comes in. They scribe. Maybe it's a second synthesizer, which would be kind of gross overall. One top, one bottom once again. Alright, they just pass. Sure. 3 steps ahead is possible, obviously. Beanstalk. A card that they'll find incredibly hard to beat overall. They do nothing to interact, though. Okay. A double town. Like I said, brother, this town ain't big enough. Yes. Are we slowly going to get there by doing this? It'd be great. I don't even... Do I even budge? Or do I just draw 2? I think I just go to draw 2 and just force him to... No, because 3 steps ahead we'll be able to copy that. I need to do it with my... We're thinking now, team. I cast no spell here. I hate how this keeps going back up and back down. It's making me mad. Pass. We know the way to do it. I will take a draw 4. Cast just 3 steps ahead. Make a copy of it. Go for it. I have the answer. Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of. That's fun. Like, I'm gonna do that, then I'm gonna copy it, maybe. This is fine. I have plenty of maps to bounce back to my hand now. That's how that works. I should probably just do that now, though, right? Since they're tapped out, like, I'll just take my draw 2 here. Just resetting that over and over again, making it super hard to find value on, seems just like really good. Sure. Okay. So this will make a token. I can crab tap down and then I can win just off of combat damage, right? I think so. Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess you can't block, right? So it doesn't matter. Batman. And now I need to be able to cast 3 spells, which I can do. This one and this one, I guess. And then now I just go up. Land's fine. Yep, I was gonna say it's like almost impossible for me to miss. But yeah, I mean, I've played Synthesizer enough to know if it gets bounced or destroyed the turn you play, it feels like you just got time walked, and that's all we did. We just prioritizing bouncing Synthesizer and going from there, and we just went slowly with our 1/1. Huh. Opponent first. We get a land. Sure, I guess. Not sold at this hand's great. Okay. Well, we find land, so I guess I just do this, and then I look to actually fight that, which is weird. Or like an Amalia or something if it misses. Just those type of things. You have to just get them off the board. You cannot let them sit. Kiora is going to be important. Tolarian Terror is going to be important. Ooh. Nope, I'm good. Seed of Hope, pretty good. Like, should I have a played Yavimaya just so I'd have more options here? Probably, I guess. We'll see if they attack again. Typically when they play this card, there's a lot of like awkwardness in it. Here. Oh no, they didn't fall for it. Oh, we gotta make cards cheaper, right? And Up the Beanstalk again, once again a hard card to beat overall. This is overall hard to beat, not necessarily that it's impossible to beat or anything. It's just hard. This one meant to play the forest, but it's fine. We'll figure it out later. We'll pass. Then next turn I could play land. I could Bushwhack, play 2 terrors, and then have, I don't know, something in play. I mean, I guess I could bean. No, I can't. Like Kiora, I would love to live because it would make an 8/8, right? But obviously, not everything is gonna go according to plan. At least most of the time. And I've been playing the lands poorly. It's kind of one of those things where I've just been kind of autopiloting it out, and it's just better decisions would have made this game a lot better. For example, without the Sanctificer or whatever, they wouldn't have gained as much life in a spot like this. So they take a damage, and then they're going to play a creature to gain life. Okay. Sure. That doesn't bother me too much. It's a weird card overall. Like, I get playing it. Like, I totally do. But I think I'm fine. Sure. Do your thing. It'll be a hard match overall anyway because of the life gain. So I can Bushwhack, have it fight that, get Kiora back. Kiora re-ETBs, draws discard, and then I can play a Tolarian Terror. I guess so. Like, that goes down. Kiora re-enters. Those, I think Up the Beanstalk and double, like potentially double spelling next turn is too good. And now we just kind of put them in a really weird spot as like I slowly grow my board. Because like they've gained a little bit of life. They haven't gained so much that it's ridiculous. And hopefully they are not super loaded on Shelter by Ghosts. Oftentimes they're not. I think I'm just getting hit for 1 here. 2 here maybe? To reanimate? Is that what this is? Okay. Interesting. Sure. I'm the only one that's confused, team. Play Beanstalk. Could now try to play the card advantage game. I guess I just hold up the Crab, right? There's no reason to play Tolarian Terror right now. The likelihood of hitting another one's not great. This also does enter tapped. Also playing Split Up's kind of a cool, unique effect there, for sure. Any creature gets the job done. I'll take 1 damage. I'm not giving up nothing. Alright, well they only have a cavern left. I'll play Crab, I'll draw a card. Town ain't big enough. Very cool. That's tapped. I could just hit this thing. Like, doesn't seem like an awful idea. But I could also just get more lands and prioritize like a Kiora here. Yeah, I think I like playing Kiora. Maybe I'll hit another land regardless. Non-summon. Alright, I don't need this anymore. Huh. Yes. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Weird. Combat. This one. And I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna hold up. This town ain't big enough. Just to like rebounce like a Kiora or something here. I do think I can win with what's on the board. I don't have to overextend here. And maybe even bouncing like my Beanstalk is gonna feel nice. Sure. Well, 2 counters on your flyer.
This fight ends now.
We'll see what they actually do. Sure.
This is our fight
Sure.
to win.
Did they actually forcefully? All right, that's fine. If they attack me. Okay, perfect. I'll have you pick that back up. So they won't make a token here to protect. But I also don't even know if I care that much. Let's take... I'll threaten that, I guess. Yeah, I'll take a chance to make my 8-8. Sure. Let's Hedge Maze. If we're gonna... It's like find card, right? I don't want to overcommit any more than this, because a card like Split Up could break my back for sure. I'll just pass here. We could only use 2 blue mana, by the way, because this was just a blue and this was just a blue. Glimmer. Or Grim. Yeah, that's a Glimmer, right? What? We have 1 in there. There's 2. This town ain't big enough, so we're not really likely to hit another. I mean... I guess we have like about the same chance as hitting anything else, really. I feel like we're deciding on a Split Up right now. Destroy all tapped creatures. I also don't have double white anymore, by the way. The second Split Up's not possible right now. Sure. Then my ward creature stays, which feels like worse. And the 8-8, but like Kiora could just make another 8-8. You kind of have to figure that one out. During. Sure. I think.
You shine bright.
Yeah. Do I have a way to win here? Not if I full play for that, I guess. Oh boy. Returns them all. So I can pick up that this town ain't big enough. And then I can bounce just this. I don't really have a lot of choices here, huh? This will return this and this, I guess. I can also make sure it doesn't return that. Or I can just return it, I guess. Huh. Eight, 13, 14. I mean, it's 15. If I attack out, right? I don't know, dude. I feel like we're just dead in this game. I'm also dead if I don't do anything, right? What, 1, 2... Shelter. Yeah, we're dead regardless. You should be able to figure out the math that they have it. Like, they can cover this up, but... I was like counted wrong regardless. I don't know. Interesting. Take 1 here. Yeah. That's fine. I have no idea. Obviously, I didn't know this talent ain't big enough for the 2 of us was on top, or I would have just snapped those off. Well, I guess I had to grab 1, right? So, like, I wouldn't even have had to. Lunar. You just have to gain life and lose life. You have a way to gain life. Oh, I guess that makes a 1/1, right? Do I just live?
I have been reborn.
No, I'm dead. Yeah, that sucks. That's so annoying. I'm not waiting for all the triggers to happen. I'm just dead. They make a bat on instep because they gain life and lost life. So they make another bat and I just take 2 more off the enduring. I feel like I played that game wrong, but I have no idea where. That's not a thing like I won't be able to find out till... Maybe I was just too passive. Maybe I played like a coward. It's just weird to have like a deck that's a creature deck primarily playing split up in it. So it's just like, I don't know. Weird. Opponent goes first. I mean, we can go get a blue land. It doesn't really matter, right? So we'll try. This hand definitely seems like one of the worst ones I've had thus far, but... Well, I'll play a Hedge Maze. I'll just bend that for now. Want to work towards these spells. Don't worry, you can enter tapped if it's not my turn. Instant speed, so I just wait. Another matchup where Up the Beanstalk probably wins us the video game, where we try our best. Tolarian Terror also a very good card in this match. Cash grab. I guess I'll grab my 1 card. Do I just wait and flash into Crab, I guess? I mean, that feels reasonable. I don't feel like I should prioritize the Tolarian Terror right now. Did you vote? Don't worry, brother. I'll grab more lands. Grab, man. I gotta grab. He's a goofy boy. Okay, so we are the demon deck. Pretty easy so far. Kind of pretty bad hand overall. Like, I'm drawing a lot of lands for starting off with 2 and only playing 17 of them bad boys. Okay. Sure. Interesting. Pick that back up. I want the way clear. I'm in there. And I'm gonna go get a land. I might as well do this now, right? I don't know. Deck thinning is good if they play the big demon here. No, not the unlocked mode. Ooh, actually, that's huge. That's a huge card. Ren. I have Magic the Gathering cards that I would like to attack you with. Fair enough. Yeah. Do this. It could have a counter spell, but that's okay. I'm gonna go get a crab man. Because this crab can also tap. The only real problem is I'm still kind of just dead to the thing, right? This isn't. It's 2 target creatures. Okay, so I can tap their Restless Reef. That's what they're going for. Oh, we're in there. Okay. Not a card I'm casting, I'll tell you that much. Oh boy. If they have Jace, I'm just dead, right? There's not really a whole lot I can do about it. Oh boy. No, we'll pass. If they play Jace, I'm dead regardless, so it doesn't really matter. I don't have a way to put a card back on top. I do have a crab man. Which I can go for like lethal regardless, right? You just have to hope for not hard counterspell. There's a lot we're praying for, by the way. Those are tapped. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes. My turn. 10. What are you gonna do, brother? I don't know. I've been watching too much Nade Shot, man. It's crazy. All right, well, this deck is apparently nuts. It's apparently insane, and I have underestimated it very often, apparently. And it's just because, like, a lot of times when I run into this deck, I'm either playing maybe a match that's favored, or maybe our opponent just taps out way too much. I don't know. But every time I've played against it, it's just been weird. This is also Ash Sizzle's list. I have no idea where she got it from. I just know she was playing it. Somebody said, have you seen it? And I was like, yeah, I've seen it. I just haven't quite tried playing it yet. Because every time I've played it, I go, wow, that was a meme content deck. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I think of. But yeah, it worked out really well. I think you have to be like weirdly patient, even though these are cheap sometimes, or play like you know how to play the game, unlike me in times throughout the video. I think there was a couple of times like I missequenced my lands, should take the damage off the Yavimaya, things like that, where I was just being weird about it. But it does come to a lack of playing the deck. I do think you get rewarded a lot more the more you play this deck and the more lines you know, obviously. Because some decks, like, not to clown on mono red, but like mono red, I don't feel like you have to know a ton of lines to kind of win at least 50% of your games most of the time. On arena, best of one, if you're just on the play with a good hand, like you can figure that one out on your own. But this one, like on the play, draw, whatever, I do think you have to kind of prioritize like how you're going to set up each turn and how you're going to do it. I think just like tapping out to make sure you put an extra 5/5 in play, because it's like, well, if they don't answer it, I win. Well, if they do answer it, you might lose. So you need to make sure you have like the discount ain't big enough, or like even unsummon. Also, I think at the beginning of her video, Ash did, about some people playing another card, the Flood Maw, or Into the Flood Maw. I actually like Unsummon more because this can return our creature to our hand, and we're not really worried about, like, I think if we lose to one Leyline Binding, like, we probably have other problems. Like, we can always bounce it with this, so we don't really have to worry about that. But Unsummon can actually bounce back like a crab. So, for example, if it's a weird thing where we have lethal on the board, we just need to be able to attack through, and we only need one of these 5/5s to hit. What we can do is we can play the crab, unsummon it, and then play it again, tapping 4 creatures down. So our 1/5/5 can get through and hit if that's what it's coming down to. But outside of that, I mean, the deck's sick. Kiora felt pretty good. Although attacking with Kiora is pretty tough. Nobody's really going to allow you to do that. So obviously you kind of like get in a weird spot with this. It's also 2 mana. But with that said, I mean, the deck was sweet. It went well. The other bright side for anybody who really cares. I can't believe that card's like a rare. What? I mean, it's like fine, but Up the Beanstalk's common. Yeah, so there you go. If you're looking for a deck and maybe you want to play a budget deck, I think you found a pretty solid one to play if you're willing to play these type of tempo decks. So you have 4 rares, 2 probably. Stormchaser Challenge is a necessity in this deck. Because it works incredibly well with this town ain't big enough for the 2 of us. Literally doesn't say that. This town ain't big enough, but you know what the saying is. But Kiora is like fine. I guess you could play without it if you wanted to. It's just a good draw discard effect that works really well with your other creatures. And then Analyze the Pollen is a 1-of. You can substitute that out if you're really kind of being like picky on the budget. And other than that, like, you do play 17 lands. If you really have, like, if you have 3 Hedge Mazes and 3 Yavimaya, just play 3 and 3. Don't break the bank over it. Like, that's the best part about playing a more budget style deck. It's works out well for your economy. And if I told you a deck that's really good only had 16, 17 rares in total out of the 60, the way the meta game is now, that's a pretty good rate overall. And a lot of them you could technically substitute out basics or whatever. So, like I said, I'll catch you all on the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.